In the month of August, some big things happened. We got more info on the Google TV streamer that we didn't know about before, including it going up for pre-order. More IPTV services got shut down. Was it yours? Should you be worried? Legal IPTV services are now suing legal IPTV services for being too cheap. Yeah, isn't that a bit of a bitch? And we got so much more in this monthly recap of streaming news. Now, if you guys like this kind of information, I do weekly videos teaching you how to save money on streaming, about the newest devices, and about some of the services. If you guys like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button right down below. It's the best way to support me. Let's get into the video. Let's kick things off light and talk about the Google TV streamer, which was announced at the end of July, and we were kind of expecting it to be a competitor with at least the Fire TV Cube, probably not the NVIDIA Shield, but a big improvement on the Google Chromecast TV. And the reality is, yes, this thing is going to be a competitor with a lot of those devices, and it is the first device to run Android TV 14, which in this case will be the Google TV version of it, but that gives us all the brand new AI features that are included with that operating system. We also got news that this device will be compatible with an OTG cable, meaning that you can use expandable storage. Now, obviously, one disappointing thing we learned is this is going to be a 32-bit device, which is a bit disappointing. Google really had a chance to be a bit of a difference maker here and potentially be a 64-bit device. Especially at the $100 price point, I did expect maybe a little bit more out of Google. But because this device runs Matter, it should be compatible across a bunch of different smart ecosystems. So I'm really excited to get this in and see how it works with like my Eufy camera set or some of the other smart devices I have in my house. Now, you've probably been hearing a bunch of news on Venue IPTV. I've talked about it a little bit. I did a short. Venue is a collaboration between Disney and Warner Bros. And Fox Sports. So three major companies that own a lot of assets, including ESPN, Fox Sports, obviously, a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm not going to go over their whole conglomerate here. So this service is supposed to offer major sports, a ton of channels, at a discounted price that honestly a lot of the competition can't fuck with, right? Let's be honest. Fubo TV costs a fortune for very little channels. Because they're collaborating, they're able to kind of undercut the market. And that's where Fubo TV came in and said, you want to take us out of the market? You want to save the consumers money? I got you, with a lawsuit. So they put in an injunction to get Venue Sports blocked for now. That's right. They want it blocked, so you can't get it until there's some sort of agreement here. Or they want it completely gone, I guess. And this was actually joined by DirecTV and a few other companies. I'll put them up here if I remember or look into it. And the judge did go ahead and grant the block order for now. So we're kind of waiting to see if Venue Sports can get out of this mess. But yeah, it's not looking good for the big potential sports IPTV service that was legal and not too bad at $42.99. If it had enough content, it was gonna be worth it. So following that up with some not legal services that got shut down, a really big service in the US and one that was actually based in the US got 3 people arrested with a potential $2 million penalty, which I guess is obviously going to be, they're gonna fight over it, they're gonna try to save money, all that stuff. Anyways, the service was called Anytime IPTV. It looks like it's completely shut down. There was a ton of comments on Reddit saying how people had just bought a year's worth of service and now they're basically SOL, right? With these services, you will not get a refund. You will not get your money back. Now, if you just pumped $80 into it a week before it got shut down, that $80 is gone. Honestly, it's part of the risk when you do this kind of stuff. That's why I always say, you know, maybe you buy a few months, but if you don't mind losing the money, then you're good anyway, so don't be too worried. Now, for me to be a shill for 1 second, just a reminder, IPVanish is still 83% off. I believe this deal ends at the end of August. So you have a few days here. If you guys click the link down below, you can still get that deal. It also supports me. So if you guys want to basically buy me a bunch of coffees, purchasing the VPN really helps, or join our membership section. But either of those guys, If not, it doesn't matter. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate you, and that is more than enough. Viewing this video, watching it through, thank you guys. Now this last little story is a little wild. I did a full video on it, but I'm gonna give you like the 2-minute summary on how Disney Plus may use their TOS to make it so you can never sue them. So listen to this. At Disneyland it was in Florida, it was the Florida one, I believe. I'm gonna put some shots here so you guys can kind of see. Basically, to summarize it, a woman went into a restaurant, said many times she had an allergy. She was fed food that she is allergic to. She died, okay? Now, this is a restaurant that is on Disney property. However, Disney does not own them. They're, I guess, technically, they basically lease the property and they have to follow certain Disney rules. Now, the greasy part is of course, the family sued. I would sue as well. Even if you don't have a case, you're still gonna sue, right? A family member died. And in Disney's case, I would expect them to, I don't know, at least give them free, okay, that's terrible to say. They don't want free Disneyland tickets, but maybe you could help them out. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Instead, what they did is they went back and saw that the wife's husband, the wife that passed away, her husband actually signed up for Disney Plus in 2019. And technically, because in the Disney Plus TOS, it says that you can't sue them and you have to go through arbitration instead, they were not allowed to sue them, is basically what they put forward to the court. And they said this is applicable because this couple used that same Disney account to buy the tickets. That is one fucked up way to use the TOS that I know none of us read. I've never read a TOS. I will never read a TOS. If I sign my life away, it is what it is. It's one of those things. So I don't know. I personally thought, obviously, a gross way for Disney to get out of a lawsuit. Even in this case, if it wasn't their fault, they should have at least let it go through court and then let a judge decide, right? Let something happen. But to use TOS is such a bad one. And lastly, this one I just read today, so I haven't had a chance to make a video on it. I might do a full-length video. You guys know F Movies. I talked about how it got shut down, and many people were saying, well, there's still multiple versions up. Well, that is because they know who, well, Ace does in this case, runs the site, but the guy lives in Vietnam, so it's very hard to not only locate him, but to also hold him responsible. So this person basically, with the legal pressures of F Movies, shut it down, but it looks like there's basically a bunch of sister sites that are already up. So this isn't out of the ordinary, but it seems like they're already putting injunctions in and they're looking to shut these sites down as soon as possible. So yeah, the rat race continues. They're gonna try to shut them down. New ones are gonna pop up, bing, bang, right? It's gonna go back and forth until, I don't know, prices get so high that everybody's using the legal sites, or prices go down and people start paying for the service. But I mean, we both know that option 2 is not gonna happen. So most likely option 1. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave. Hope you enjoyed this month's episode. See you in the next one.